Damon Fryer, a popular YouTuber and supercar enthusiast, was pulled over by the police in Beverly Hills, California in the month of May 2018. This meeting became noteworthy as a result of the ensuing activities and exchanges that took place between Fryer and the officer after it took place. What all took place? Let's investigate this matter further.
You have your registration and insurance?
Yeah.
What brings you to California now?
During the encounter, the Beverly Hills police officer initiated the interaction by requesting Damon Fryer's driver's license, registration, and insurance. This is a standard procedure during traffic stops to verify the legality and validity of a driver's documents.
I live here. I give you a Canadian driver's
So that's
license.
exactly what I'm trying to figure out. You're giving me smart answers, but I'm trying to get to the bottom of something.
It's not a smart answer.
It
I
kinda
don't. You're not customs. I don't need to explain to you why I'm here.
Okay, so you need a California driver's license to drive in California.
Fryer complied with the officer's request and handed over his driver's license, registration, and insurance information.
International driver's license?
Excuse me?
You have your international driver's license?
You're a cop. You should know I don't need that. I'm a Canadian citizen. You have a treaty with us. I'm going to
You
exit
need
the
it.
vehicle to get my passport.
What is that?
During the interaction, the officer raised questions about Damon Fryer's presence in California and his Canadian driver's license. The officer's questioning aimed to determine whether Fryer was a resident of California or merely a visitor.
What are you about to say?
Stop saying you just ran.
I didn't run a stop sign.
Just saw you.
Which one?
Lamita, sit down.
Which one?
I just told you. You're so busy asking me questions. You're not listening to my answers. I said the one on Lamitas.
I didn't run any stop sign. I have everything on camera.
Fryer explained that he was a Canadian citizen and represented his Canadian driver's license as proof of his driving credentials. He asserted that as a non-resident, he was not obligated to obtain a California driver's license and that his Canadian license was sufficient for driving legally in the state.
I said the one on Lamitas.
I didn't run any stop sign. I have everything on camera.
Okay, that's fine. So do I.
Pardon?
I said so do I.
Sure.
Stay in the car, don't get out, man.
No, I won't. Wow. International driver's license.
Fryer explained he didn't need a California driver's license as a Canadian citizen and showed his passport. The officer insisted that Fryer needed a California driver's license and an international driver's license, which Fryer disputed, and pointed out that Canada and the United States have a treaty in place that allows Canadian drivers to operate vehicles in the U.S. without the need for an international driver's license. He argued that his Canadian driver's license, being a valid and recognized document, provided the necessary authorization for him to drive in California, and he moved out of his car.
How you doing?
Great, how are you?
Awesome, man. I'm allowed to film you.
I didn't say you weren't.
I don't know why you're shining the light on my camera then.
I'm just making sure I can see inside the
And is 11 out on the flippy?
Well, you don't need to do that by following the
You're
camera.
very defensive, sir. Why is that?
Because you pull me over and you don't know what for.
The other officer was standing at the other door and asked Fryer how he was doing, to which Fryer replied nicely that he was doing amazing. Fryer also mentioned that he is filming the officers and they can't stop that, to which the officer said he was not even saying anything to that, but was flashing the flashlight in front of the camera so that the officer's face was not visible.
I told you what for. Look at your camera. You'll be able to see what for.
I didn't do anything though. You lied about the stop sign
I didn't
and you
lie.
don't understand what
Here's your
exhaust is on
paperwork.
my car.
Here you go.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
The officer asked why the guy looked so defensive, to which Fryer replied that he has been pulled over for nothing, to which the police said check your camera to see what you have done, where Fryer said it's nothing there. Also accused the police officer of lying about the stop sign as there weren't any and there's no exhaust in his car.
Modified exhaust, right? One.
Yeah.
You're not having a California driver's license.
I don't need a California driver's license.
Okay. So can you sign here, please?
And if I don't?
I have to take you to jail.
Really?
Yeah.
The officer proceeded to issue citations to Damon Fryer for 2 alleged violations: the absence of a California driver's license and the presence of a modified exhaust on his car. These citations mark the culmination of the interaction between Fryer and the officer, reflecting their differing perspectives on compliance with the law. Regarding the first citation, the officer asserted that Fryer was required to possess a valid driver's license issued by the state of California in order to legally operate a motor vehicle within its jurisdiction. Fryer refused to sign the paper which the officer was asking for, to which the police said he'll be behind bars because of that.
Is that part of the, not having a driver's license thing too?
California. Well, like I said, it's not an admission of guilt, just promising you'll take care of the citation. So with that being said, your car is subject to tow.
What?
Why? Because you're driving your own license in California.
I can do that.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I can. I have a Canadian driver's license. It's not illegal to drive here with that.
The moment Damon Fryer put his signature on the document, the police informed him that his vehicle would be impounded since he did not possess the appropriate license for the state of California. In addition to issuing citations for Damon Fryer for not having a California driver's license and for the modified exhaust on his car, the officer took his response to a more concerning level. The officer, perhaps frustrated by the disagreement and Fryer's persistence in his stance, resorted to making a threat regarding Fryer's vehicle. In a display of authority, the officer went as far as to threaten Fryer with the possibility of having his car towed if he was spotted driving it again. Typically, the decision to tow a vehicle is contingent upon scientific circumstances, such as when the vehicle poses a safety hazard, is involved in criminal activity, or when it is in violation of parking regulations. In this case, the officer's threat appeared to be an inappropriate escalation of their authority, as it was not supported by the violations Fryer had been cited for. Fryer, being aware of his rights as a motorist, could have questioned the officer's ability to carry out such a threat. If Fryer believed the officer's action to be unjustified, he could have requested clarification or brought attention to the officer's lack of legal grounds to tow his car. Feeling aggrieved and determined to address the situation, he left his car behind and sought advice from his friends and other people he trusted. Discussing the incident with his friends and seeking their input provided Fryer with valuable perspectives and guidance.
So
You're
that's
just
the
playing
way you feel
hardball.
about
It's
it.
all good, dude.
Okay, so like I said, if I see you again, I will tow your car, sir.
Yeah.
Okay? You have yourself a good night.
Yeah, you too, man.
Thank you.
Empowered by the advice he received, Fryer made the decision to confront the issue head-on. Arriving at the police station, Fryer took the initiative to speak with someone in authority about the unjust threat made by the officer.
Okay, so tell me,
I'm going to record this. That's cool.
it's already recorded.
No,
24/7.
For myself.
Okay,
Thanks.
do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So what documentation do you have, like as far as your ID or license or?
Fryer decided to take action and file a complaint against the officer. Recognizing that he had been subjected to an unjustified threat and concerned about the officer's abuse of power, Fryer sought to hold the officer accountable for their actions. After leaving the police station without any further problems, Fryer proceeded to the relevant authorities in order to formally lodge his complaint.
A foreign issued driver's license.
I'm
You
not a
can drive.
resident.
No, I'm just saying
Oh,
they
okay.
can drive,
Fair
right?
enough, yeah.
So you got a citation for something you should not have received.
Correct.
That's item one.
And then the threat to take my vehicle away from me based on that citation, which doesn't exist.
Okay, so the good news is that did not happen. You have your car.
The officer's behavior during the encounter with Damon Fryer revealed a troubling lack of understanding regarding license requirements and an improper display of authority. In addition to issuing citations for not having a California driver's license and a modified exhaust on Fryer's car, the officer went further and threatened actions that he did not possess the illegal authority to carry out. He got an F for that.
The international, Canadian, US driving, whatever the legal jargon is, that I can drive on this license.
Okay.
And I'm not to have my vehicle towed if he sees me around Beverly Hills again.
Okay.
Firstly, the officer's lack of understanding regarding license requirements became apparent when he insisted that Fryer needed both a California driver's license and an international one.
Why are you taking this off? Fine!
Put your hands behind your back.
Stop!
Put,
Stop! Stop!
put your hands behind your
I
back.
didn't do anything wrong! I didn't take this home!
Okay, well, we
The video shows body cam footage from a confrontation with police in Brookings, Oregon. Jennifer Gaiman, a disabled lady, was detained by police for riding her mobility scooter on the sidewalk without a helmet. Jennifer, however, was well within her rights to use the sidewalk for her scooter because she is a disabled citizen. The cops, alas, had a different take on the situation.
Okay, well, I'm trying to get my camera on real quick. Okay, so let you know, conversation being recorded. Are you able to turn that music down a little bit just so we can talk better? Okay.
I just want to go home. It's freezing.
It is
Yo,
cold.
why are you stopping me then? I've
Okay,
been riding this thing
I'm
for
gonna-
over
I'm-
2 years
I'm
now.
gonna explain it to you in a second. We're stopping you because you're on a sidewalk with it.
Yeah,
you rode
because
through
it
a
is
crosswalk.
it's a legal thing on the sidewalk. Look it up. It's a mobile scooter. It's a fucking mobile scooter.
Okay.
It's an electronic scooter.
Yeah, it's a mobile scooter. Okay, do you understand what that means? It's my mobile scooter. It's how I get around. I don't have a car.
Quickly, Jennifer called the police and explained that she was a pedestrian because of her scooter. The uninformed officers, however, continued to approach even after she explained the situation. Officers kept calling it an electronic scooter, most likely so they could write her a ticket.
Yeah, it's like Iris. He goes on, yeah, because I'm getting pissed off.
Why are you getting?
Because I want to go home. You guys are pulling me over for no reason.
We're on
It's like
lawful
Iris. It's like Iris. You know Ira, the blue guy with the guy's rider? It's exactly like his, except it's got 2 seats. That's all it is.
It's electronic
White,
scooter.
exactly.
Do you deny that it's electronic?
It's not electronic scooter, and I can ride it on a sidewalk.
Is it gas powered?
No, it's not gas.
Okay.
I
So
gotta
it's
go.
electronic.
I'm cold. You guys are cold.
You're not free to leave.
Yeah, I am.
No, you're
No, you're
not.
not.
Yeah, I am, because you legally cannot stop me.
You're lawfully detained right now. You are
For what?
literally on a lawful
For
traffic
what?
stop. You see those red and blue lights?
For what, though?
Are you going to
Give
let
me-
him explain it?
Yeah, because you don't have a reason to. You guys are legally, you're taking my disability act and you're throwing it in the garbage.
I have no
This is
idea
my
what you're talking
disability scooter. This is how I get around, and you know that. You've seen me many times around this town riding it.
about. Okay, are you going to let him explain to you why you're actually on a lawful traffic stop?
Okay, so we stopped you because it was actually looked up before, okay? You can't ride this in a crosswalk and on the sidewalk.
Are you kidding me? So the mobile scooters that ride around here, all these old people can't ride them on the sidewalk?
Nope, not according to the Oregon Department of Transportation. I'll look it up for you, just so you can know that I'm not messing with you. He's not messing
Okay, so I'll let everybody know that you guys have bad laws in this town, and that people
It's
that have
Oregon.
disabilities.
It's an Oregon
No, you know
Department
what?
of
That's disabilities. Okay? These people ride these scooters for disability. You want them riding on the streets to get hit by a car? You kidding me?
I don't make the rules.
Yeah, well.
Grab some information.
Jennifer was lawfully arrested, and police asked her to see her identification before releasing her. Jennifer was at first hesitant to give her ID, but in the end she did so to speed things up. Several tickets, mostly for driving offenses, were written for Jennifer by the police over the course of around 15 minutes.
No, I know. I've had a citation. Thank you. You're not doing your job. You're not serving protecting because listen, those people are
Sometimes issue a citation right now.
Okay, come on, hurry up.
Which is actually causing me to pay more attention to aggressive and so the traffic should grab some money. What day is it? The 6th of December.
Yes. I'll double check just to make sure since it didn't bleed through.
Jennifer was followed by the police all the way to her house, where they remained stationed the entire time. Jennifer was forcefully arrested after police arrived at her garage and filed charges of disorderly behavior and eluding arrest.
Why are you taking this car?
Put your hands behind your back.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
Put your hands behind
I
your back.
didn't do anything wrong. I was gonna take this home.
Okay, well, we disagree on that. You're under arrest.
You're happy, huh? That I'm getting arrested.
He wasn't even there.
I'm getting arrested because I took this up, and this is a mobile scooter. I've been riding this around town for years, and you guys know it.
Jennifer was shockingly found guilty on the felony counts and given a 5-day jail term and an 18-month probation period at first. Jennifer, however, decided to launch a lawsuit against the city of Brookings and appeal her conviction on the grounds that she had been wrongfully imprisoned and that her rights under the Disability Act had been infringed upon. The judge sided with Jennifer this time. Her conviction was overturned, and she received a $500,000 payout from the city of Brookings. Now let's move on to our next video. In this video, an unidentified neighbor calls the police to report a domestic disturbance, and the officer's response is caught on camera. The caller said that their 87-year-old mother is being verbally abused, so the police were sent to the scene. However, the reality of the issue turned out to be more nuanced and complex than had been anticipated.
Your mother.
Do you believe,
I have
after
your
hearing
mother.
my mother, that she is in danger?
I heard arguing, and I need to make sure everybody's okay inside the house.
What did you hear? What was said?
I just heard yelling. I couldn't hear
You
what
just
that
heard yelling.
said.
And did I not explain to the yelling? Did she not explain to you the yelling? She told you she's fine.
Okay.
She's sitting on the toilet, and you have to go and see her.
I do, yes.
The police arrested the man, who we'll call Papa Meatball, outside the residence. They told him that he had to see proof that someone else was there. The neighbor walks up to the conflict and gives a very brash but honest justification. When there is a domestic disturbance, the patrol supervisor is the first person to be absent from the response. Any officer, regardless of jurisdiction, who responds to a domestic violence call involving another officer.
Right.
Okay.
Go get somebody now.
Can you start aid to check on the female? We'll have an ambulance come.
You'll have the ambulance come in and look at her, too.
The ambulance will be here too.
Right. And you're going to pay for it.
Okay. That's not necessarily what's going to happen.
Well, I'm not paying for nothing. My mom's not paying for nothing because you are forcing this upon us. This intrusion is so fucking unnecessary. You have no idea how hard it is to take care of old people.
I'm sure it's extremely difficult. But I just have a responsibility to make sure everybody's okay, and that's why I'm here.
You don't have the responsibility. A medical person has the
I
responsibility.
have to ensure that there's nothing.
Is required by the model policy on police officer domestic abuse to immediately request the presence of a supervisor from the responding agency. The policy stresses the difficulty that the responding officer faces if left to respond alone or with police of the same or lower rank as a suspect officer. This problem is easily solved by the arrival of a superior commander. Both cops involved in this event were patrol officers and not supervisors.
I'm a caretaker. My mom is 87 years old and she's deaf. And I have to yell at her when she's in the shower to get her to hear my instructions. So the neighbors called the police on me because they think I'm screaming and damaging my mom. And they won't take my word for it. I opened the door. They asked my mom if she's fine. She said, yes, I'm freezing because I'm naked on the toilet. Yet they won't take her word for it either. And I'm not about to let a cop in my house to see my naked mother. Do you understand what's going on here now? Have I explained myself?
At the same time, they asked if they might come in and see how Mom was doing, but Papa Meatball said no. If permission is granted, the police can enter and search the property in question as part of the standard routine for police responses. Police must independently verify the presence of bruises and other signs of physical altercation in order to establish probable cause. As the supervisor is being briefed on the issue, he learns that his 59-year-old paraplegic brother also lives at the residence. It's now obvious that shouting alone isn't enough to warrant an arrest. As a result, the police have no grounds to interfere or resort to physical force. Medical personnel arrive shortly after, and the supervisor lets them in to check on her mother. He briefs them before the examination so that they may better understand what they're looking at.
Rollo! I only need one of you. Rollo, in the house. Yeah.
Papa Meatball's tone of seriousness and irony in evaluating the cops is hard to argue with because he seemed to be correct. We believe the police should have let the caretaker dress his 87-year-old mother before taking her away from him. There have been no developments or court proceedings reported since this video was made. However, the police could be held liable for obstructing the caretaker's ability to do his job if medical personnel uncover any symptoms of cold or flu caused by the mother's exposure to the cold while confined in the toilet. Now let's move to our final clip.
Okay. Give me some space, dude.
Go ahead and turn.
Give me some space,
Put your hands
dude.
behind your back.
No, give me some. Ow!
Oh my...
YouTuber and First Amendment auditor Joshua Roberts set out to investigate the public spaces near Dove Technologies in Florence on September 9, 2022. Two workers contacted him after discovering his recording of their workplace and voicing their displeasure. An employee took an aggressive tack, reaching for his camera and trying to take it from him. Roberts explained to them that he was acting within the law and threatened to use a taser on them if they persisted in their assault. After hearing his warning, the two workers retreated. Then one of them called for a co-worker whom she apparently refers to as her spouse, although we have no more details about this person at this time. The Florence County Sheriff's Office responded to the scene, thus he may have been connected to them.
Who are you?
You don't have my signed authorization to have my face on that camera. Turn it off.
Can I have your signed authorization? This guy's coming up aggressive, everyone. Can I help you?
No, can you help us?
Yo, get away from me, buddy.
No, dude. Who are you?
Get away from me, dude.
Why are you here?
Back the...
Why are you here?
I suggest you leave me alone.
You're on private property.
I suggest you do something about that then and get back inside.
Ooh. Really?
Yeah, really. You like going around with people like this?
You know
think
what?
that's fun? Don't touch my buddy.
One of the workers complained to management that Roberts was trespassing on company property. Roberts refuted the claim by saying he was actually on an easement. An easement is a restricted, non-possessory right of use over another person's land under South Carolina law. Neither the grantor nor the grantee may alter the location, size, or scope of the gift without the other party's consent after it's been made. A South Carolina power pole crosses the property, establishing an easement as seen in the video. Since the electric pole is considered public property, Roberts was within his rights to be near it. Since a utility easement does not instantly change into public property, the workers were also within their rights to claim the land as their own private property. The workers then called the police, who responded quickly to the building. When asked what happened, Roberts said he was assaulted and gave his version of the events.
What's going on, bud?
Come on, man.
Oh, nothing. Just getting assaulted out here. That's about it.
Get assaulted.
Yeah, by one of their workers.
What happened?
I was just out here taking some pictures, and one of the guys came out here saying he didn't want to be filmed, and he ran up to me, started circling me, grabbed my camera, started pushing up on me.
A third-degree assault and battery is defined in Section 16-3600, subsection E1 of the South Carolina Code of Laws as any unlawful effort to injure another person with the current ability to do so. Willfully and deliberately destroying any type or class of personal property or another person's goods and channels is also prohibited by Section 16-11-510. Possible violations of these two laws included the employee's hostile attitude, and one of them attempting to take Robert's camera, potentially with the purpose to destroy it. At some point, one of the officers started talking to the workers while the other kept talking to Roberts. It's important to point out that Roberts acted in a provocative manner the entire time they spoke. The presence of First Amendment auditors and their predisposition to be provocative has long been acknowledged by the Municipal Association of South Carolina. Therefore, authorities and officers inside the state have been given instructions on how to deal with contacts with them. The first three cops tried to handle the situation professionally, despite Roberts' provocative behavior. When Sergeant Paul Morrison joined the others, though, things began to change. Morrison claimed that he routinely kept this close proximity when interrogating a suspect, and he did so while talking to Roberts. Morrison tackled Roberts to the ground and tried to damage his camera by stomping on it without giving him any advance warning that he might be arrested. Roberts revealed video from the body camera purportedly showing Sergeant Morrison attempting to erase footage. Frustrated, Roberts said, "That's why I was trying to show him when he was all throwing me on the ground, and I'm like, at least turn off the camera." Sergeant Morrison may have attempted to alter or destroy proof of his wrongdoing. Roberts was successful in retrieving all of his videos. As a result, an internal affairs investigation was launched when he lodged a written complaint against the officer. Sergeant Morrison was forced to resign as a result of the investigation. In a statement released after the event, Sheriff T.J. Joy Lehner said that Sergeant Morrison had broken several policies. The Florence County Sheriff's Office has decided to let Sergeant Morrison go as a result. The First Amendment rights of residents and tourists of Florence County were underlined by Sheriff Lehner. The 12th Century Solicitor's Office is now in charge of the case.